Hi, my name is Jonathan, and this is my anthem video, inspired by Wire's autocomplete video. What is equality 7:25:21 curse and why? His curse was curiosity and honestly just being smart. First of all, it says on page 15, we know not why our curse makes us seek, we know not what. Which explains why he's curious, and on page 12, this is a great sin to be born with a head, which explains why he's intelligent and smart. At the beginning of the novel, is equality against his curse or was he enduring it? At the beginning of the book, he hasn't rebelled or tried to learn. He was actually trying to forget and not understand what he learned. Not because he was unable to understand or he was dumb. It was actually because he knew and he was too smart. In this time, having a head that was too quick was a sin. And like I said, since he was trying to forget and not understand, because he was still loyal to the council and he kind of wanted to be a proper slave. On page 12 it says, we try to forget our lessons, but we always remembered. We try not to understand what the teachers taught, but we always understood it before the teachers had spoken. But this will change later in the book. At the beginning of the novel, what does equality think of life? To be honest, he doesn't know anything about life because he always had a strict life and lived under a lie, so he couldn't really explore much and understand what life was truly about. He was a lost soul who lived and died with no cause and no worth, but it wasn't until later in the book that equality actually starts to rebel and tries to understand life. At the beginning of the novel, what does equality want to be and what did he actually become? On page 17, it says, we wish to be a scholar. So, of course, he wants to be a scholar. And then on page 17, it also says, this was the only thing which moved. For the lips of the oldest did not move, as they said, street sweeper. Which means he became a street sweeper, which he actually did not enjoy. How does a tunnel in the beginning affect equality's character development? Well, it caused him to break the law for the first time and will lead to everything important in the book. From electricity to getting arrested to stealing, and affected him to do what he always wanted to do, which was to learn. And allowed him to break the law and endure his curse without feeling that he was doing something wrong, which was also talking and learning. And it also made him wish that he had no end to his quest of learning, which was clearly stated on page 29. We wish no end to our quest. How did the Golden One affect equality at the beginning of the novel? He was overwhelmed by emotion, from pleasure to pain to relief. And it still showed that he was still loyal to the council because he was afraid of breaking the law, which was talking. He didn't want to talk, which was obviously stated on page 32. We dare not to speak. It is a transgression. And it would actually also start his rebellion by separating her from the others, which was also a transgression. And he gave her a name, aka the Golden One, and you guessed, a transgression, which was stated on page 33. But it's a sin to give men names which distinguish them from other men. How does equality discovery in the middle of the book affect his development? When equality first made his discovery, he said on page 48, we forget all men, all laws, and all things save our metals and wires. So much is still to be learned, so a long road lies before us, and we must if we travel it alone. Whenever equality made this statement, it clearly made a stepstone in his development, because it was the start of him clearly rebelling against the council. All these times he broke the law, it was only like the little things here and then, but this was the first time he was willing to do something alone, despite other people, which was one of the biggest crimes of the council that you can commit. So it created a mark in his development from going to a blinded slave to a rebellion. How does equality's talk to the Golden One in the middle of the book affect his character development? Well, it's pretty simple really, because on page 50 it says, our dearest one, we whispered, never had a man send this to women. It follows through the fact that equality is continuing and honestly, passionately, really rebelling by doing already talking, but also what no one has ever done, calling someone our dearest one. Or in other words, having feelings and showing the feelings, which was again a major transgression. And again, it continues his rebellious phase. Why does equality's resistance when he got arrested affect his character development? Well, it's pretty simple, really, because it shows that he was committed to rebelling and doesn't give in what he put all his effort into, despite all the lashes, all the torture, and all the pain, which was evidently stated on page 60. Then we smiled, for we thought of the light that we had not betrayed it. How is equality running to the uncharted forest relevant to his character development? It shows, just like how he was resisting in jail, that he was committed to rebelling. It won't give him what he spent all of his time and effort for. And doesn't care that his brothers were against him, which shows how much he's changed from putting his brother first to now putting his discovery of electricity first. And that he was willing to go into the unknown with no redemption from his people just for his discovery. And he's even said it on page 71. We have torn ourselves from the truth which is our brother men, and there was no road back for us and no redemption. Why does the moment equality has with the golden one at the end of the novel in the forest affect the character development of equality? It was the first time he doubted. Alright, let me explain. In page 82, it says that everything which comes from the many is good, everything which comes from the one is evil. This have we been taught with our first breath. We have broken the law, but we have never doubted it. Yet now, as we walk through the forest, we are learning to doubt. Like it said right here, he was all grown up, taught that man was good and man was evil. But he starts to doubt and disagree with that belief. Because the joy that was created between him and the golden one belonged to them. It had no relation to his brothers in any way. That's why he doubts the counsel and that faith. How is equality at the end of the novel? At this point, he was a whole new man. He developed love, emotions, a real life, and honestly, being human. He discovered the word I, and now he fully doubts the word we. He seeks the true meaning of life and mankind and was willing to create a whole new society with him, the golden one, and all of his friends that were treated like cast-outs, living the truth. Not living a lie as a group of one, but individually. He sees the truth of how life was destined to work and how whatsoever road he takes, the guiding star will always be with him. He sees now the world will only be so strong if they allow themselves to be, and it starts from within. If you can describe equality's character development in a couple of words, what would it be? I choose slave, rebel, doubt, and truth. He starts off the book as a slave to the council, honestly a living NPC, controlled by blind faith and lies. Then about 2/3 to 3/4 of the book, he begins to rebel and does things by himself and breaks the laws. After that, he begins to doubt. He begins to doubt the principles of the council and their belief. And finally, truth. He begins to discover the lost truth of individuality and discovers the word I. Oh shoot.
Oh! Oh my god! Oh my god.
I bet.
So, which quote was most impactful for you in Anthem?
Well, actually, the quote is, whatever road I take, the guiding star is within me. The guiding star and the lodestone which point the way, they point in but one direction. They point to me. So if you know me, I'm the type of guy who does all the stuff with my friend. That's just who I am, and no one can really take that away from me. However, that's what most people see. At the end of the day, my life is my life. Though my friends may help guide me or distract me to build my foundation, I must be the one that takes the leap of faith. The one who fulfills my own destiny. How does it relate to me, you may ask? Everything that I do and everything that I will do comes from me. For some, it may be obvious, but for some others, it may be foggy. But I'm the man who drives the decision from within. It may be selfish, but I always put myself and my success above others. Whatever road I choose, my own will and consciousness shall drive and emphasize what's already within. And even if I have to travel it alone, the guiding star shall choose a direction from only one individual. It'll come from me. I choose my own destiny.
Honestly guys, right now I wanna smash everything in my room. I wanna smash absolutely everything in my room.
Wait up! You have to finish your project.
I bet.
What's the summary of Anthem?
Well, actually, Equality B3087 is a 21-year-old man who lives in an environment where individualism is eliminated and collectivism overpowers everything. It starts off with equality in his tunnel. He then explains the history of his life and his environment. He had a curse, the curse of wanting to know, which is being curious and learning really quickly. He was taught from birth that everyone was his brother. Everything that he does isn't for him, only for his brothers. This book is about Equality's life, developing from a dumb, blinded kid to a man with a family living the truth. It shows the crazy events that has happened to this man's life, from reinventing electricity to getting arrested to meeting the love of his life. It's truly so beautiful to see how much development has happened to this character over the course of the book. And that's basically what Anthem is about.